Welcome, my name's Derek, I'm an alcoholic, and what's the Big Book actually saying? This series of videos, I've put them together because, more and more when I'm working with newcomers or sponsees, we go into the Big Book and the text and the way it expresses itself. And to be honest, more and more people seem to be struggling with that, and that's perfectly understandable. I mean, this is New York, the place, and the year, 38, the time when the Big Book was written by our founders. And look at it. It's a very different world than the New York of today. So why wouldn't we at times struggle to connect with the references and the style of writing, which are sending us the ideas that we can use to save our lives? So what I'm trying to do with these videos is to just demystify or potentially even make a little bit more contemporary what the Big Book is actually saying. I mean, for me, as a member, it took me a while to see the system that the 12 steps are creating for us. And so here's a happy, sober, manageable life. And the way the Big Book works, as far as I can see, is this, that we learn, then carry out 12-step suggestions, and we have a sponsor, and we have the Big Book, and we have meetings, and we have the fellowship. We have this sort of potpourri of support that helps us learn, then carry out 12-step suggestions. But the thing is, if I don't learn what is suggested accurately and specifically, then I can't carry out the 12-step suggestions in 2022, which is the year I'm making these videos. Now, that's a very different world than 1938. And we only have the book and how it expresses these ideas to help us. And it was written 90 years ago or so. So, we need to demystify what the book's actually saying. Why do we do that? To gain a conscious contact with a higher power of our understanding. And also, we're also finding ways to help others. And so, it was interesting to me when I finally understood with multiple readings of the Big Book that that's the purpose of the 12 steps. We indirectly lose our desire to drink through using the 12 steps not to stop drinking, but to discover, connect with, have a conscious contact with a higher power, whilst also finding any way we can to help others. This was not what I felt the 12 steps were for quite a while. So that was, revealed to me eventually by someone wiser than me and more experienced than me, showing me where the Big Book was actually saying that. Once we have gained that conscious contact with a higher power, that we then continue to develop our spiritual lives, including helping others. And this goes to what the doctor's opinion says. We get sober by a spiritual as well as altruistic means. So there's, two systems, I guess, that we're operating in order to remove our thought of a drink and get our lives together in the process. So this took me a long, long time to understand. And maybe you're in the same boat as me. I'm doing the 12 steps to find God. And by putting God in my life, a God of my own understanding, the desire to drink just goes away. So I'm not choosing not to drink, I'm choosing to discover God of my own understanding. And then the desire to drink just goes away. And that's what's happened to me. I can be around alcohol. I can offer people alcohol. I can pour them a drink. I'm completely okay being around alcohol because I just don't want to drink it anymore. That's the miracle that the 12 steps provide us. And those suggestions within the steps are quite specific. And when I finally discovered what they were suggesting, I did them. And my life changed. And I want that for others, I suppose. That's how I think I want to carry the message anyway. To this day, the Big Book is still the textbook we use to effect this miracle. So if you're struggling at all with this octogenarian path to a better life, why not at least let this member help you find out what it's actually saying, to some extent at least. And if that sounds exciting or interesting to you, I'll see you at step 1 and have a happy, sober day.